got some big questions. Number one, when do we go to the ER? When do we call 911? We brought in our doctor from Helen DeVos Children's Hospital. You work in the ER every night.
I do.
So you can answer every big question we have. And let's start with that one. When do you call 911 and when do you bring your child in? I mean, it is that fine line.
Right. Well, in general, you always want to err on the side of caution. And so if you really feel that you have an emergency and your child needs immediate attention, we want parents to call 911. If you feel like your child needs attention, but probably you can drive them safely to the emergency department, you can drive them in yourselves. And really, there's no better way to do it than call your regular doctor first if your child is safe.
Okay, so your doctor will help talk you through and help you decide. Just call the pediatrician and say, okay, he's got a high fever, I'm not sure what to do. So that's the starting point, really.
That is a great place to start. As long as your child appears safe and you feel like you have time to do so, giving your regular doctor a call can save you a late night emergency department visit that can be uncomfortable for everybody. On the other hand, if your child really needs attention, your doctor is going to be able to direct you to the nearest emergency department to get seen.
All right, let's talk about allergic reactions, because this time of year, whether it's a bee sting or eating a food a child's not familiar with, crazy things happen. Let's talk a little bit about that. Do you need to bring your kid in?
Well, it depends on how bad the allergic reaction is, because those can be anything mild from a skin rash to something really concerning like anaphylaxis, where your child may be showing signs that they're having a hard time breathing. They may say their throat's closing off, their mouth feels itchy. In those circumstances, you just want to call 911 and get to the nearest emergency department.
Excellent. What are, in your mind, 5 things every parent needs to know?
Well, I think a great place to start is taking a CPR class and a basic life support class from your local Red Cross or AMR. They both have great classes. You should know where your nearest emergency department is located. And having the poison control number up in your kitchen is great.
You know, and we always think, I'll probably never need it. I don't need to post that stuff, but you do need that.
And when you need it is the time when you're going to be panicked and you're going to have a hard time finding it. So really doing those things beforehand is going to be helpful.
And what about tips for calling 911? It's one of those situations, you know, when do you dial in? Do you stay on the phone? Do you know, it's hard when you're panicked and when it involves your child.
Right. So first of all, when you feel like your child really needs immediate attention, they're injured or they're ill, you just call 911. That's what they're there for. So you shouldn't feel nervous about doing it. Go ahead and call. When you're on the line with them, stay on the line. Even if they direct you to do something where you need your hands, you can put the phone down, but don't hang up.
Okay.
If you've got some extra help in the house, having somebody run down to the street to wave in the ambulance is really helpful for the ambulance driver, too.
Let's talk about burns. This is one of those topics that, I mean, nobody wants to think about, but again, it's summer and kids are around campfires, barefoot, the whole deal. What are you recommending?
The first thing is to try to prevent it. So in summertime, when we have things like fireworks and campfires, you really want to have a responsible adult watching small children around these things. So the first thing is to keep them away. However, if your child is burned, a small burn can be treated pretty successfully at home with a cold compress, Tylenol, ibuprofen, and antibiotic ointment. If your child has a large burn, a burn to their face, their hands, or their feet, you really want to get them seen right away.
Okay. What's the one thing you wish you could tell every parent?
Oh, that's a big
I know,
question.
but I know you see a lot of parents every day.
I do. You know, the biggest thing I would say is that the emergency department is part of the community, and we really want to be here for kids and families. And we're there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We'll never turn down seeing your child. Just bring them by if you're worried.
Thank you for all the great work you're doing at the Helen DeVos Children's Hospital. We really appreciate it.
Well, thank you for having me.
Thank you. We'll be right back.
Priority Health is proud to be a part of where you live.